This right here is the pinnacle of the Camaro SS, and that's the 1LE with a manual transmission. This is my 1-year review with this 2020 Camaro SS 1LE at 11,000 miles. As far as reliability in the Camaro at 11,000 miles, not a single problem, not even one. I like to say that, yeah, I had to do this or I had to do that, but the truth is I haven't had to do anything but maintenance. Stereo is actually a bit better than I initially thought. Maybe the speakers broke in a little bit, but yes, it could use an upgrade, but overall it's not that big of a deal. Where this car shines is when you put it in turns. You can accelerate hard too. Of course, you can do this car as a roller, but that's not what it really is. You know, most of the guys that get 1LE setups, we set up our camber negative 2.3 or so up front, and between negative 1.6, negative 1.8 camber in the back with toe zeroed out all the way. And that gives us a nice track, very responsive vehicle, and of course it eats up the tires a little bit faster, but that's how we like our cars. And if you look back here, most of us, and this is including Camaro, you know, SS owners of course, most of us just pull out our back seats if we don't got a reason to use them. As far as Alcantara goes, people are complaining about how to take care of this, it's gonna look horrible. Well, here we are at 11,000 miles. And all I use is Sonax Alcantara cleaner, Alcantara. And I use that, I don't know, maybe like once every few months or so, whenever it starts looking a little caked up. I go in there and clean it with a brand new microfiber towel, a little bit of water, and everything comes back to normal. So if you're worried if Alcantara is going to hold up as a daily driver, it's completely fine. I still wish there was more lumbar support. Everything works just as intended. The windows do what they're supposed to do. I haven't had to replace key fob batteries, which you shouldn't a year in, but you know, things go with cars nowadays. No rattles, nothing. It's literally that good of a car. And when people review cars online, I always go, why can't I get the car that doesn't have problems? Well, go buy a Camaro, maybe a new one. Chevy's won my heart over. And the 1LE name and identity has become what I like to incorporate, because it's a fast V8 muscle car that can handle, and they still put manual transmissions in these, as they should. So it's really the perfect combination. You're not going to be disappointed if you get this. If you get this as a daily driver, you're not going to be disappointed. You might change the tires to Pilot Sport 4S's so you can get a little bit more length of time, but if you track it, you might actually stay on the stock supercar 3s because they handle really well on the track. Believe me, they do. I know you guys talk a lot of crap about these supercar 3s because they wear down, they're loud, but they're extremely responsive, they're stiff, yes. They're not the greatest on the street, but they're really good track tires. Chevy knows what they were doing with this car. They know what they're doing with performance cars. And if you have a blockade in your head that I don't want a Chevy, or Chevys are problems, or Camaros, you can't see out of them, which is I won't even get on that because I don't think it's an issue at all. Things like that, break down those barriers because you're holding out on a really, really good car. If you're stuck in Mustang land, and I respect that because I still like Mustangs myself, but give the Camaro a try. This has been the best change I have done as far as my muscle car purchases. I've had 3 Mustangs, a 2015 GT Auto, a 2010 GT Track Pack manual, and a 2011 one of the 3.7 liter V6's manual as well. I've had a Cobalt SS supercharged, a 2015 Subaru WRX, and now I have the 2020 SS1LE, a few cars in between there, but this by far is my favorite car to take out on a canyon, to just go out for a cruise, to do anything. Hey, there's a Subi. So why would you buy a 1LE if you're not going to track it? Well, hold on. First of all, I started off not wanting to track a car. I didn't plan to track my next car at all, really. And what I meant to do is, yeah, I'll put it through some back roads and I'll daily drive it and just have some fun. And as I put it through back roads and daily drives, I realized this car has so much potential and I want to push it way harder, but I don't feel confident in doing that on public roads, more or less because of drivers, bikers, things that happen in the canyon. We all know about that. So it's public roads. I don't want to kill anybody or get killed or whatever it is. I feel confident in my driving, just not the environment. So you end up going to a track and you have an absolute blast. It's what you want it to be. You can go smash, the cops aren't going to pull you over, you can push your car, you can lose control of your car. I don't suggest it, but you can. And you know, you're not going to get rolled or go to jail that night or whatever the situation might be. So I really do encourage you guys to put your car on the track. It's not about how fast you can go. It's about gaining confidence in driving and getting to be faster. So one of my favorite aspects about this car is actually the community, and the people that drive these cars are enthusiastic about driving. They're fans of manual transmissions. You'll find us out on back roads. That's really where you find 1LEs. Rarely do I see a guy on a freeway in a 1LE. It's always on a back road where I run into these people, or you know, in a canyon somewhere like I am right now. And you know, we really care about driving. You'll find us on the track too. I ran into other 1LEs at the track, and because that's what it's meant to do. Of course you're gonna find those guys at the track, right? But it's these cars, this culture, the 1LE culture, is slightly different than you would see with other versions of the Camaro. And that's actually really surprising, where two SS drivers do, you know, different things to their cars. It's not always about the handling. They're not always about handling. They like to do the freeway pulls and stuff like that. And that's cool. I enjoy that too, but I really thrive to be on the canyon taking turns and being on a track, you know, beating the car. That's where I want it. I feel it in the turns. And you know, going in a straight line, anybody could drive in a straight line, and no discrediting anybody or how fast your car is and stuff like that. But to me, real driver skill is how you do, you know, the turns and the twisties. That takes skill. Anybody could stomp on the gas, and anybody could drive an automatic, you know. So when you get a manual car that is meant for handling, it drives a certain type of buyer. It drives a different type of buyer. And it's not the most common buyer, and you're not going to find people begging for hardcore handling performance everywhere. So the ultimate question, would I buy this car again? Would I get a ZL1? Would I rather be back in a Mustang again? The answer to all that is I would buy this car again. If I wrecked this, I'd buy another one. If GM kills this car, I will buy another just to keep it. And in 2020 at a time, most cars are going electric, hybrid, and focused on fuel economy. I can still buy a manual V8 with 455 horsepower to tear up tires, tear up the track. This is my review of my 2020 SS1LE after 1 year. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy my videos. If you could please like and subscribe so you can see another good year that I get out of this car, as we're going to go down the mod path.